Welcome to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. We're two friends taking an explorative journey into all things astrology and a little woo. I'm Christine. I'm a creative, intuitive counselor and coach, and astrology enthusiast. We Pisces like to wear all the hats. You can find me on IG at The Dreamy Piscean.
And I'm Shelby. I am a licensed social worker, a big feelings person, and a light skeptic. Here to learn all the astrological things. You can find me on Twitter at Shelby Tweeting, and being a Cancer rising on Instagram at Shelby Cooking Things. Welcome to our show.
Hey y'all, welcome back for another week, another installment of the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. My name is Christine.
And I'm Shelby.
And we are so excited to be back for another week.
Yes, and it is the beginning of the astrological new year. I am feeling this Aries season like I just woke up on Friday and was like, oh, it feels better.
You know, the sun shining brighter.
Yes.
Yes, spring is here.
It's lovely.
We can all, rejoice.
Yes. And we have, I think, a very fun, appropriate episode, especially after last week. I know we had a little bit of doom and gloom. It was big, heavy topics.
Heavy.
But I think we're going to make up for it tenfold this week.
I think so. I think we're going to have a good time today.
Got some fun games for y'all and some good relatable content.
Yeah.
But do we want to get into our co-stars to kick things off?
Absolutely.
All right. So I cheated. I already looked at mine this morning.
Ooh, tell us what it says.
Mine today says, there are multiple paths to the same river. So multiple ways to get to the same place, I guess, I don't know if that's trying to tell me not to criticize other people's journeys to their
be open to other paths or other, avenues.
So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to do my best. My do's this week include, it's very springtime out here. It says do burnt peaches. Sounds delicious. Little burnt peaches on the grill and some ice cream maybe. Yeah. The little foodie in me is coming out. Just a little flaky salt, a little olive oil or something on there. Like,
okay now.
I'm making myself hungry. We've got burnt peaches. We've got pickup trucks. And we have hair down, blowing in the wind. That's what I'm seeing. Shout out to Reagan, the girl that does my hair. She did a great job yesterday. We just did a little color refresh and a little trim, but she's looking good today. As my mom would say, you wouldn't have to have two jobs if you just stopped doing your hair and nails. And I will not.
But I will not let them go. That's
Can't do it. Anyway, my don'ts this week include thrills, no thrills, very chill week. Callousness, no callousness, so just stay open, I guess. And blocked numbers, which is so funny because we've got a conversation about that coming up.
Yeah.
And that, my friend, is my co-star this week.
Okay. So keep it kind and, don't block people.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Maybe. I don't know if I can promise that.
Right.
Okay, so this week my co-star says, or today, it says, no need to be so polite.
Oh, you know what? A lesson for both of us, probably.
It's Aries season.
Yeah.
I said, fuck all that shit.
Go ahead.
Just say it how we need to say it.
Tell them how you feel.
Okay. Say how you really feel. Do Greek mythology.
Oh, I love
it. Okay. Fanfic.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Greek mythology fanfic, maybe?
Fanfic, okay.
Sounds sexy.
And crying selfies.
Okay. All right. I'm with it.
Feel about that.
That's nothing makes me more angry than watching some girl on TikTok just cry into her phone. And I'm like, can you not? Why did you take the time to record this?
Why did you record this? It makes me feel awkward. I've recently encountered this on TikTok. And I'm like, person that I enjoy their content. And I just, I'm like, I understand, I'm like, this is my little Pisces moon. I'm like, but I understand they're maybe hurting or whatever. Do you have a support person? Can you reach out to someone on one of your TikTok community people?
Yes.
Send
Talk
me
to
a
them
message. Hey, girl.
individually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Can
just
we
put that out
talk?
into the void. Like,
It's not on somebody's For You page.
mm-hmm.
We don't know what to do with this kind of content. People don't know how to handle it. So,
It takes me back to Kid Fury's, and I can't remember what he called it, but he's like, do you need a friend? It sounds like you need a friend and not the internet.
yes,
Like,
yes.
like, yeah, like the internet is not going to be
This is
helpful.
not the place. It just it's the one thing. And I'm like, then I kind of question myself. I'm like, am I not being compassionate enough? And I'm like, I just don't. I'm like, but the recording myself is the part
Mm-hmm.
that I can't quite. I'm like, so I'm going to turn this camera on and
Mm-hmm.
cry. And
Mm-hmm.
that part just doesn't quite feel.
There's some kind of disconnect there for me personally.
Yeah.
Like, I can't quite get there.
Can't quite get to that part. But, yeah, I hope
But maybe you
people
don't have to
have the
post them.
support they need.
Maybe you can just take
Okay.
a couple of crying
Just
selfies
make sure to
and
record the moment. Capture the moment when I
share the moment
cry
live.
next time. It's
Yes,
like, we know it'll happen at some point. So
absolutely.
just get that
But I also,
selfie when it's.
that is a very Piscean thing of like, we cry a lot, but we cry privately. I think we like to cry
It's just.
alone in our
Just
own
have a little
feelings,
moment, and then we're back. I'm like,
and
okay,
then we're
that was
ready.
cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Just need
Yeah.
to get that out. It was in there. Just need to get it out. Some people are just emotionally constipated. And like
Yes.
we are very regular
We're ready.
emotionally.
It's flowing
It's
regular.
flowing, okay?
Get all kinds of
Yes.
emotional fiber in our diets.
Yes.
That is true. All right. What else you
So,
got this
okay.
week?
So on my don't calm down.
Ooh, that's
Don't tell
also
me to
very
calm
Aries
down.
season energy.
Do not tell me to calm down. Yielding. No yielding. And don't curtsies. So we're not doing any, like it said, no need to
Yeah.
be so polite.
Okay. Okay. I
All
love this
right.
for you. You and your little Aries placements. I love it. It's very
It's
good
like, so
fit.
I can go, okay. It's like, so I got permission. Okay. It's like, you said.
Consider
Okay,
it
you
done.
said. I'm not going to do no crying selfies though, but
Hey.
I'm
Yeah.
with the don'ts. I'm with the
We're with the
don'ts.
don'ts.
We're with the
Absolutely
don'ts
with the
this
don'ts.
week. Yes. All right.
Well, we have a lot of relatable content this week, all very good things. I'm very excited. I think our meets will be fairly short lived this week. Like, I think we'll go through it pretty quick. So I'm not too
Yes.
worried, but I will. And we don't necessarily have to go in this order, but this is just the first thing that I threw in here is that I have a synastry chart for us to look at this week.
We've got a chart.
Yes.
We just
So
got a chart.
we just got a chart. We just got a chart.
Because they're
Wonder.
very smart.
Oh, that was so much better than whatever I was going to say. I like that. And I think we're right. I think so. I was telling Christine off mic that I am still trying to get it with like reading the charts and not like having a website do the auto interpretation for me. So I'm just like
Yeah.
seeing what I see here and trying to kind of go, use my critical thinking skills, doing my best. But my very tender Aries friend asked me for some Tinder help.
Yes.
He matched with someone on Tinder and they apparently hit it off very quickly. And so he said, I don't normally do this, but I would like to just see what our compatibility is. And he came ready with the birth times. He already said, okay, here's my sun, moon, rising. Here's her sun, moon, rising. Let's get it. Tell me what you see. So I ran a little synastry chart. I also just was telling Christine off mic, this cracked me the fuck up because he listened to a previous episode of the podcast forever ago where we talked about the signs as inanimate objects, and we described, he's an Aries, of course, so we described Aries as a Tinder profile. And he has not gotten over it. Apparently that was a drag, and he brings it up almost every time we talk about astrology. I can't tell if he's salty about it or if he understands that it is very true, because
Got it.
here we are.
It's the truth that really bugs people,
You know what? Every good joke
truths.
has just a little bit of truth in
A
it.
little bit of truth.
It's just a little bit of truth.
So it makes it so funny.
Sorry. Clearly we hit a nerve there.
Like, Sorry. You know who
Okay.
you are.
I will just right off the bat. So, what he told me was he is an Aries sun, Sag moon, Aquarius rising. She is, let's see, let me get this right. She is an Aquarius,
Huh?
also a Sag moon,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember what her rising sign is. Where is it?
Looks like she's a Cancer
Cancer
rising.
rising. Ah, relatable. Yes, me as well. So I really wanted to get Christine's take, but the very first thing that I said and saw and said to him was fire signs and air signs together. Like, I always try to break it down to, okay, what do these elements look like together?
Mm-hmm.
So he's this fire sign, she's an air sign. You think about, I said, think about blowing on a campfire or like a wildfire and the way that the wind sort of whips it up into a frenzy and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and it just burns down everything in its path. And I was like, think about that as an analogy for a relationship. Like, it's going to be the first glance, the first thing I thought was like, this is going to be a passionate relationship. Also, both of
I
y'all with
love
a
that.
Sag moon. Like, Sag
Of
placements.
the places we will go.
Yeah,
Emotionally.
it's very interesting. Like, I don't know. Sag placements are always a little bit kinky to me. So I'm just like, y'all are going to get into some weird shit. You're going to be very emotionally in tune, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so his rising sign is the same as her sun sign. I feel like that just right off the bat gives like a very attractive vibe. Like, you're very attracted to one another.
Yes.
So that that was my like initial interpretation, and then we kind of looked into the chart itself. Christine, tell me what you are seeing here.
So I just, just on glance, and I will say not a ton of like challenging aspects just on a glance between the two. There are a few. But overall, especially when we're talking about our personal plans, like I'm trying to like scan to, make sure I'm not talking outside of my neck. No, but I'm not.
You're not. You never are. You know what you're talking about.
They're like, no, just double checking, but not a ton. So that's a good sign. There are more positive and harmonious aspects than challenging, so that's good. Now, what I did say, there are the things that are challenging are interesting. Like, so he has an Aries sun. She has a Capricorn Venus.
Yes.
Interesting. Yes. And so
Yeah.
those are square to each other. So her language of love just kind of, has a little friction with the core of who he is. So the way she's going to look for love or the things that she's going to want to receive from love might not be just completely in alignment with the way that he is generally. I
So
don't know.
the Capricorn Venus always makes me think of they feel love by like seeing you, recognizing your potential in a way. Like, Capricorns want to see you kind of meet their sort of high standards. Like, Capricorn is a
Yes.
business bitch and Venus is the
Yes.
planet of love. They almost feel like it's sort of a frictional
Yeah.
placement to begin with.
Yes.
So I don't know. I that was something that kind of stuck out to me about that just a little bit.
Yes, so that'll be an interesting energy. Also, so next you have his sun is opposite of her Mars.
Mm.
Now, you know, again, could be a good time, definitely was so her Mars, yeah, her Mars is Libra. Okay, so interesting Mars placement though for Libra because Libra is ruled by Venus. So that's probably already just an interesting energy for her in general. But again, having those energies be opposite, and it's like her Mars energy and his sun, which is ruled by Mars, that sign. So that, I could see some friction pop up, due to that, thing as well. So it's like, the oppositions can go either way. Again, they can be magnetizing, can really draw you to each other, which I could see that also being a draw, but also, when you get those
When
masculine energies
yes.
together,
Yeah. There's conflict.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the fights might be like a knockdown drag out.
Uh-huh. 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 Because somebody is going to win.
Mhm.
That's Mars right
Yes,
there.
there's a
Someone's
lot
gonna
of
win.
competitive energy
Mm-hmm.
in the entire chart. In
Mm-hmm.
his entire chart, there's a lot of competitive energy, I think. But like the two of them together, you could see a lot of heads butting here.
Yes. Yes. He looks like he's got a lot of fire energy anyway. And so
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Great, great times there.
It's so funny because just knowing this person, he does have. I've read his chart, so I know he has a lot of fire energy, but he has that Aquarius rising. He
Mm-hmm.
appears very chill,
Mm-hmm.
but then
Mm-hmm.
you say something, and it's like,
The
oh, that riled
fires
you.
under the
Yeah, it riled
surface.
you the fuck up, didn't it?
Yep, yep. It's like it's a volcano.
Yeah, there it is. It's in there. Yeah, never tell me astrology is not real. It just describes people so well. I
Mm-hmm.
swear.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. Okay, so now the other thing I was going to point out, not to point out all the negatives, but there really are a lot of positive
Things to watch out for.
aspects. Yeah. Now, technically, no, when you read a chart, the order of operations is you go your conjunctions, your oppositions, your
Mhm.
squares, then you get into your trines and your sextiles and trines.
Mhm.
So you do technically go with the challenges before you get back to the
First,
harmony, the
yes.
harmonious place.
Well, you got to
So
know where to start.
not to be negative Nancy. But now the more concerning thing I saw, or again, could be very electric, very magnetizing, is his sun in Aries is opposite her Pluto, which
Mm,
is in Libra. So
mhm,
she is of the Pluto and Libra generation.
mhm,
Now, we don't always just look at outer planets in synastry readings, but I think Pluto is always a planet that we just want to kind of keep an eye on and keep, if
mhm.
it's aspecting a personal planet, we definitely want to pay attention to that. And
Yes.
so, yeah, it looks like she would be someone, she is older than he is. So
Mhm.
you've got the older woman thing, older
Yeah,
woman vibe.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Her generationally,
Mhm,
um, the way she is going to probably be very attractive to him. But that
mm,
energy also, again, Pluto has a little power control, has a
mhm,
little, there's a little toxicness that can occur in that Pluto energy. That's our planet that rules Scorpio. So if you
mhm,
get that Scorpio vibe sometimes, just like,
mhm. A little
a little
mysterious, a little,
mysterious, maybe doesn't
yeah.
tell you all the things,
Mhm,
maybe a little darkness in there.
mhm.
There's
But
that
that could also be
element.
very attractive. I
Right,
could see that
right.
as well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can very much draw you in, like, I want to know more. And then you get sucked in. And you gotta learn lessons. That's okay.
That's what it's there
But
for.
that's what's there. So the only thing I would really say about that is to just like take it easy, take it slow. I think Shelby shared like this is something that kind of has happened kind of quickly, or things are
Mhm.
escalating more quickly. And so I
That's the
would
vibe I
say,
got.
yeah, like
Yeah,
maybe just pump the brakes a little bit. It's hard to tell an Aries to pump the brakes also,
right. They don't wanna do that. They never wanna
like
pump
pump
the
the
brakes. They're
brakes.
like, "I
Like,
don't even have
what?
I cut
I
those
don't even
brakes
have
years
brakes.
ago."
Right?
Yeah.
Cut them things off. We have no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. That's
Yes.
Aries. All gas, no
Yes.
brakes.
It's like brakes. Yeah, what? So that would be my advice. I would say just take it easy. It
Mhm,
doesn't look like it's anything like run, but there are some aspects to just kind of pay attention to.
mhm.
Shelby and I were just talking about this, but again, you seeing challenging aspects is not necessarily like, oh, get out of this relationship, but it's
Right.
kind of a guide to tell you these are areas that you're going to probably see your personalities have a
Mhm.
little friction.
Clash.
Yeah, clash or
Yeah.
clash altogether.
Have a little friction is a much nicer way to say it, but, like, there's
Well,
you know,
I think it's appropriate to say both because there's a range.
there is. This chart is varied. There's a lot of different things to look at.
Mm-hmm.
As with anything else, we're never going to say like, oh, this could never work. Like I've seen people with some wild charts be together and be very happy.
Mm-hmm.
This is not in the grand scheme of things like there's no major red flags that I'm seeing either that's like, oh,
No.
please God, no, stop.
Yeah. There's
But
nothing that I'm seeing that's like, ooh, that's I would watch out for that. I'm like, what is this? Oh, there's also a Pluto square Venus. His Pluto is square her Venus. But that's also interesting. Yeah. So those Pluto, aspects to personal planets are definitely things
Mhm.
to watch out for. But yeah,
And if you listened last week, Pluto is that planet of destruction and
uh-huh.
change and
Uh-huh.
transformation. So also that, if you come through this on the other side, this could be a very transformative relationship as well. I can see
Mm-hmm.
that.
Some of those transformative relations. I have, several, Pluto contacts with people, in my life
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
definitely transformation. Now, again, it's not always it's usually not the nice kinds of transformation. It's usually not that
Yeah,
kind.
that's
But,
fair.
transformation nonetheless. So,
Yes, exactly.
I think, again, just take it easy. Like take your time. I think
Approach
there are positive things here.
Yeah, I think well, and I think that's just good relationship advice in general. This relationship
Absolutely.
advice I never personally follow. Do I ever take it slow? No, absolutely not. But I know that it's the right thing to do is to just chill, reflect, review as you're going. How does this check in with yourself and your body? How is this feeling? If you're in a
Yes.
conflict together, can we step away before we continue this conversation?
Yes.
There's things to do, but overall, not anything that just spells disaster.
Right. Right. So, as with anything, proceed with caution.
Proceed with caution.
Proceed
Absolutely.
with
Yes.
caution. Always.
Yes. Well, thank you
That's the
for
dating scene anyways.
oh my god, literally for everyone and everything.
Hmm.
But thank you for taking the time and looking at this chart with me. And
Yes.
I know we always say this at the end of the show, but like I I love this is a fun little thing to do on the podcast. Like send us your shit. Let us get better at looking at these charts and making interpretations and just tell us what resonates about it and
Hmm.
I would be very curious. I may have him listen and then check back in a couple weeks and be like, all right, what do you think? Is this tracking? Like, what are you
Yeah.
seeing? So, yeah. But, again, I'll go ahead and plug it here. If y'all want to send us your charts or your birth time, your partner's birth time, etc.,
Hmm.
your own individual chart, have us do it. Have us talk about it on the pod. I would love to. So, such a
Yes.
Pisces pod at gmail.com. We're always accepting submissions.
Absolutely. And if you want to do a little like mini in person, or not in
Mm-hmm.
person, but like
Yeah.
talking with each other, because
Yes.
I mean, honestly, the best chart reads are going to be like with your live time, like
Yes.
real time, your feedback, because I get so much more from narrative, like you
Mhm.
talking about things. I'm like, that's that aspect coming out. Like that's how
Yes,
my mind
yes.
kind of makes the connections anyway. So I'm like, yeah, when you start telling me things about yourself,
Mhm.
not like making the connections between, oh yeah, that means you're an Aries, but like the aspects themselves in your
Mhm.
chart. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
that's why you handled that situation that way, because you
Yeah.
have that kind of energy, like it all starts to kind of make sense. You're like, oh, okay. So then you can kind of give them a little bit more of like, okay, now this is how
Mhm.
you really work with this energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
And you know what? We have the technology to bring in a little guest for a brief segment of the show to talk about your chart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, if you want to be on the podcast, if you want us to analyze some shit, send us an email and we'll get to it.
Email us.
Hey. All right. What else do we have in the relatable content this week?
Okay, so for the rest of the relatable content, so the next thing I have, I'm gonna throw this up on social media this week. I'm just now getting to social media, so you work with me. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
like
keep
it's
saying I'm gonna do some
getting
pod
me in
social
that.
media, and it's taking a while.
So bear with us. So this week's poll is going to be: what is the pettiest reason that you've blocked someone? We've all blocked someone these days, right? Like everyone's had to block someone and they're a telemarketer or something, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I had to learn how to use the block feature on the phone.
Now, I will say I saw this in here and I'm for real, I think maybe I have blocked 5 people ever.
Mhm. Ooh,
And most of them, like at least 2 of them were just like telemarketers or someone
yes.
that got my number that I wasn't supposed to have my number. Like I do not block people lightly, and I think that says a lot about my Piscean nature of like,
Mhm.
well, what like I don't think I've ever blocked an ex, and I'm always like, oh, if they have something to say, I want to see it. Like I've
I
not,
wanna see
yeah,
it.
I want to
Yeah.
see what it is.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
nosy,
I wanna
really,
hear that you're still in love with me. Of
pretty
course I
much.
wanna hear it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not gonna do anything about it, but like, do I want to hear it? Yeah,
I do wanna hear it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna know that you still just that flame is still
Hmm.
alive and being
Burning.
fanned, burning, just burn and yearn for me, okay?
Mhm,
Somebody.
mhm. So I like to think that, if I have blocked someone, it has been for a very good reason. I think the only one that I can think of off the top of my head is like I had to block someone who used to be like a friend acquaintance, but she was like a partner's friend's partner. Right? So we had this
Uh-huh.
connection. So it was like my ex-husband's friend's girlfriend or whatever. Like, and we were kind of friends, but then they broke up and she kind of was doing a lot and was like calling, texting, and about like, not even like, oh no, like we're broken up, things are bad, but like just talking shit on us for being this person's friend. Like it was just like, I'm being dragged into this drama and I literally want nothing to do with it. Like that.
Right.
I was just like, if you call me one more fucking time, I'm gonna block you. And I did. And I've had a very peaceful life ever since.
It's got to be done.
That
It's just
person
got to be
also had
done.
one of the wildest charts I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like Scorpio placements like I've never seen before. Like so many Scorpio
Hmm.
placements. It was crazy. It's like this is a
Yeah.
wild chart.
Yeah.
there
That
there are no
sounds
good and bad charts, but
crazy.
this one was just very interesting. So that was probably the last actual person that I blocked that was not just like a telemarketer or like a someone trying to sell me something.
Yeah. I cannot say that I am as like the word is escaping me with the blocking. I don't
You're more
know.
free with your blocks.
I'm a little more free, but I unblock. I'm a blocker and an unblocker.
See, if I block somebody, that shit's for life.
It's for life.
It's for life.
I'm
I
gonna
have to be
unblock in about 6 months.
mhm.
Let's unblock this person. Let's give it a go again.
You know what? I think that's a Taurus thing. I'm not that's your little Taurus rising coming out, I think. Like I know every Taurus I know has blocked people and then unblocked them. My current partner told me that when we very first were together, not even really together. We had kind of a we're not dating, but we are kind of thing, like
Yeah.
way long time when we were 19. And then
Hmm.
he said that after that ended, he blocked me for like several months because he was a little hurt by it, not
It's
because
healing.
there was yeah, he was in his little healing era and I was like, "Okay, I'll let you have that." But I told him very recently that I didn't know that he had blocked me. I could see it on his face. He was like, "Oh, you didn't even try to contact me." I was like, it was clear that you wanted space, so I was giving you the space. But like, he clearly took up a lot of room in his mind that he blocked me and then unblocked me, and I was like, I had no idea.
That is the worst. Let me tell you, that is the worst to have blocked someone and they never even, especially you blocked them and unblocked them, and
Mhm.
they never realized because they never thought about you enough
It
to
made me feel like an asshole. I was like, damn. Well, it was clear that you needed space, and I was trying to give it to you.
show air energy coming out.
That's for real.
She's like, oh, well, like rationally, I mean, it just seemed like, probably need some space.
Makes
Just
sense.
give you some time. He's
I'm
like,
trying.
you didn't even check in to see how I was doing. You didn't even care to
I did
call
not.
me, to send me a hey stranger, hey big head, hey,
Where my hug at?
right, nothing. Happy
No.
birthday. Nothing.
No, no, I didn't do it. I
Mm,
didn't do
mm,
it.
mm. Just slow down.
Oops. So I'm so sorry. We had the mailman just came by, and so Kima is unhappy about that.
Kima, gotta get the mail. Let's just hope it stays around. Just like the
Look,
education department of
it's
education. It's like all of us
well,
in jeopardy over here.
is anything gonna stick around? I don't know. Is the facade is the well, look? Go listen to last week's episode if you want to
Yeah,
hear us talk
right,
about
right. We're
that.
not gonna get into that again. Right. It's just, it's just took me there, Kima. I'm sorry, girl.
Yes. Okay. So, but what is the pettiest reason that you've blocked someone?
Oh gosh. I was thinking about this and I'm like, I don't even know what's the pettiest reason. I think probably the pettiest person I blocked is my mom. And like people, I mean, not from the phone, but like from like social media, which she still blocked,
Oh,
you
okay.
know.
Yes. Now that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. You
Like I
don't need to
don't
see
have a
what I
ton
got
of
going on over
people.
here.
Yeah, like I don't have a ton of people blocked from the phone, but I do block unblock on the phone too. A lot. But like usually like, my ex.
Hmm.
Is she look, I had to ask myself, is she still blocked? I might have unblocked her just in case she decided to have a heart about the dog. That's what it was. That's the reason I
Yes.
unblocked her, not because I was trying to
And
just in case
as
she
we
just
see,
got tired and reached out and just said,
that
hey,
hasn't happened
I was
yet.
gonna be ready. She's not ready. So it's okay. So she's unblocked just in case.
And also, she knows how to find you in person because you might see her at any given
All the
time.
time. I see her more now that start this job than I did in 2 years that we had broken up. But
Well,
I guess that was by design somewhat. But anyway, block. I mean, the pettiest reason. I don't think I do petty blocks as much as, my feelings are hurt
mhm.
blocks.
Yeah, that's fair.
You've hurt me. I
You've
never want to
hurt
speak
me.
to you. My block on block history with Mr. Virgo is,
Mhm.
comes to mind. We do it
Heavy.
to each other. It's just nice
At
and,
least y'all have this. You're giving it the same energy. At least
thanks, it's twins, like I
twin
had to
flames.
block you for a while, you was off the chain.
Couldn't do it. I just didn't need that energy in my space. I get it.
But we, right now we're in the rinse again, so
We're in the unblock phase.
we're
We'll
in the
see how
unblock
long it
phase,
lasts.
everything's all nice. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know if I have a super petty block other than, if you consider my mom, blocking my mom to
Well,
be petty.
I don't know. Now that you say that, I have blocked several of my ex-in-laws that still
Mm-hmm.
follow me. I've
Mm-hmm.
blocked a lot of them, mostly just because I'm like, y'all don't need to see what I'm doing with my life, but I don't want to
Yes.
be so petty as to remove you as a friend.
Yes.
But like, why are you still here?
Yes. I will say now I have blocked some of my ex's friends, which again wasn't, to be petty at all. Just like let's just
Mm-hmm.
make a clean cut. Like y'all don't need to be
Yes.
seeing what I got going on.
Closure.
We don't want nobody reporting back on one of you looking on somebody else's phone and seeing me or
Right.
anything, like
Right.
cut it off.
Now, I will say I have a feeling that I have probably been blocked more times than I have blocked other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I,
Just
you
didn't even
know,
know because
I just
just
yeah.
don't care about those people.
Because I was just thinking about how when me and my most recent ex, separated. I mean, that was a long, long relationship. There was a lot of history there, a lot of stuff. But
Yes.
I think he did not remove me. Like he was still following me on Instagram and Facebook and that sort of thing. But I
Yeah.
noticed that for like months, probably like upwards of a year, he never looked at any of my stories. And
Uh-huh.
so my thought was like he had me like shadow blocked or like made it so that I wouldn't show up or something like that. But now I see that he is looking at my stories. So I think maybe like he took his time to like have his closure or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
now he is like, okay, I don't care whatever. And I followed him the whole time because again, I'm nosy and I wanted to know what was going on.
What you got going on over there? I'm looking at all the
Also,
stories.
because we share custody of Kima, he
Yeah.
posts a lot of pictures of our dog. And so I'm like, whenever I don't have her, I'm like, what's Kima
What's
up
she
to?
doing? Yeah.
It's really my main
It's
reasoning. It's like
co-parenting. Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm like, how's Kima? And not in a like, oh my God, are you taking care of her? Because I know that he is, but I'm just like,
Right.
I just want to see
See,
that
that
I
makes
want to see
sense.
pictures of my dog. Yeah. So
I
I
don't
don't
care
know.
what y'all doing over there.
Yeah, I have probably more petty reasons to not block someone. Like people that I probably should have just blocked, but I'm kind of petty and kind of nosy, so I didn't.
But actually, I want to know what's going on and I want to see it. I want you to know that I'm watching.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should talk to my therapist about that. I don't know what my deal is.
You
Just this
know,
need to
hey,
know is so strong.
to know I'm like trying to place that in your charts. Like, well, wait a
It's
minute.
the Gemini,
Is it the
probably.
Gemini?
I
It's
think
like
it's
it's
the
probably the
Gemini,
Gemini.
among other things, but and, those Aquarius, Venus, Mars, like, just being in the know about
It's
stuff,
that air
and
energy. Gotta
yeah,
know. I
there's
just
a
need
lot
to
of air
know it.
energy over here, so I don't know,
Gotta
we're working on it.
understand.
Know and understand. Put
Yeah,
all the
this.
contexts together.
Just ruminate over it.
Yeah. I try not to spend too much mental energy on it, but I do wanna know. I do have the desire
Listen,
to know.
I understand. And then sometimes you're like, I'm good on the knowing. I've know too
Yeah.
much now.
There
I
comes a
know
point where
too
you've had enough
much.
knowing, enough knowledge, enough
Yes.
knowledge.
It's like,
All right.
I've never
What
wanted to know this.
what else do we have this week in our relatable content?
So I was just like I was talking and I'm like pulling this up. So this weekend, as in I think today, I'm like, is it
Today's
Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
The
Yes,
the
it is
episode's gonna
Saturday.
release on Tuesday, but it's Saturday
Yes.
the
So
22nd.
this will have passed when you hear this, but you won't see it anyway. So this we're just being informed about astronomy. So this is
Mm.
our astronomy news update. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, yes.
So we have what is called a Venus kiss. Very sexy. And well, no, is Venus back in Pisces yet? It might still be in Aries. And that's real
Yeah, good
sexy if it's in
question.
Aries.
Very
Like
sexy.
let me pull up time passages real quick. I'm like, where is Venus? What's going on? Venus is still in Aries, so it's 2 degrees
Okay.
Aries
Okay, it
currently.
is
So
still
yes, it's
sexy.
still
Still sexy.
sexy. Okay. So just had to make that, known. Okay, so now this is astronomy news. This is not astrology news.
Yes,
But
this is just
we're gonna put it all together.
it all
Okay.
it all works together. Yes, exactly.
So tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern time,
Okay.
we are going to have this moment called the Venus kiss. And that is when Venus passes between the Earth and the Sun.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's this, okay, so it's called an inferior conjunction. Again, that is an astronomy
Not an
term
astrology
and not an
term. Yep.
astrology term.
Okay.
But that is called an inferior conjunction when you have your inner planets, which I think was Venus, Mercury. I can't remember if Mars was there. Look, I don't remember the order of the planets around the sun, but
Yeah.
the planets that are
Mercury,
closer,
Venus. Yeah.
yes, than the Earth, right? So when the moment happens when they pass between the Earth and the sun, you have what you could call an inferior conjunction.
Okay. Okay.
So, for astronomy, there's also conjunctions. That's when the two bodies appear close together in the sky. And that's close to astrology, right? It's yes, they're appearing close together in the sky within certain degrees. So yeah, so this is called our Venus kiss. It is something to look out for. It's well, not really for us this time around because of the way it's going to occur. It's going to be
Right.
early, and the brightness of
The
the
sun will
the
kind of
glare
block
from
it
the
out.
sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you won't actually be able to see this unless you have like some really like high level equipment, which I'm sure someone will capture the picture, maybe get it
Someone
to
will.
us. But just an interesting thing to know about. So, a Venus kiss.
I love it.
Venus keeping it sexy over here.
Yeah, I feel like I have seen so many interesting photos, speaking of that, lately of like from the James Webb telescope or like from various
Yes.
things. Did you see the photo? It's like the first photo captured of another solar system. So there's another sun, like very similar to our sun star with planets kind of in orbit around it. And they took like a photo of it. It's so far away, but the photo looks so much like a fucking eyeball. I'm like, it's
Wow.
crazy looking. I'll send it to you. It's just really interesting
Yes, send that to
looking.
me. I have not
I'm
seen
like,
that image.
what is
Yes.
going on in that solar system? Like,
It's so interesting. Yeah, I'm like, I love it all. I'm like, send me all the things that are happening out in space. I know we've had a lot of activity just within our own solar system or what we can see. I know, like, just was it last week that you could see like a lot of the planets. There was one night that, they're just kind of lined up in the sky if
Yeah.
you're in the right place. And so just some really cool, astronomy things happening out there lately. So hopefully people are looking up in the sky. I love looking
Yeah.
up in the sky
Always
and watching things.
makes me feel weirdly less anxious when I can see what like there's just so much out there that
Hmm.
I'm
A
actually, you
lot.
know what? None of these little problems down here actually really matter.
Yeah. Just,
It's
this
okay.
is our little lives, our little, game we're in or whatever.
Our little simulation.
Our little simulation.
Yeah.
Yes. So, that's our astronomy news. Venus Kiss, y'all. Look it up. Maybe there'll be some pictures by the time you hear about it.
Maybe.
So our last item in relatable content, we
Mhm.
have our celebrity birth charts.
Mm,
And so it is Aries season. So it's like, okay, let's get into the Aries girls or just Aries folks.
yes.
And I was like, I don't know if we've talked about her yet. So let's get into it. Lady Gaga
Lady
is
Gaga.
our
And
celebrity chart of the week.
you know what? I logged into this recording session. Christine was in here playing Bad Romance, and we had a little moment about it. Like we just had a little
Yes.
bop because God, Lady Gaga, just a magical human being as far as I'm
Love,
concerned.
love her. Like, I was like, I just felt it in my spirit, and now
Mhm.
the songs that I feel in my spirits aren't usually the church songs, but they're in my spirit nonetheless.
Mhm.
And so, I was like, I was in my head and I was singing. I was like, Girl, just turn it on." And Shelby caught me in the middle. I'm just, eating
Yes.
my little
Yes.
breakfast and
I
just like,
loved it.
yes, bopping. So, yes, is it Stephanie or Stefani?
I think it's
It's
Stephanie,
Stephanie. I love
but
the
correct me if
Stephanie.
I'm some Gaga stan will correct me if I'm
Right.
wrong.
Please, please don't do us too much. But Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanata.
Oh, she's
Okay.
got 2 middle names I did not know.
Yes, I didn't either. It's like, come on with the names.
Okay.
March 28th, 1986.
Mhm.
A year after me. She's coming up on her 40 next year.
Mhm. Hey.
So, Miss Lady Gaga.
Mhm.
Sun in Aries, Moon in Scorpio,
Mhm.
and the ascendant is in Gemini.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
She is a fire sign, but then like she Scorpio to me, fire sign of water signs. Gemini, fire sign of air signs. Like she's got all the chart energy, but it all feels very fiery.
It's very fiery, it's very expressive,
Mhm.
it's very deep.
Mhm.
You've got, the heights of Aries, the
Yeah.
emotional heights
Yes.
of an
Yes.
Aries and the depths of a Scorpio moon. Like
Mhm.
you are just running the gamut.
The
And then you've
gamut.
got both of those signs, with a Mars ruler,
Mhm.
Scorpio, the traditional Mars ruler is
Yeah.
Mars' traditional ruler of. It's a lot of Mars energy.
Mhm.
And so it's a lot of, yeah, it's a lot of heat, a lot of passion. So let's see, but also let's cool it down.
Mhm.
We've got Mercury in Pisces.
And it was retrograde at the time.
And it was retrograde. And so
Interesting.
some things there. We've got an Aries Venus.
Hmm?
Love to see
Sexy
it.
ass placement.
Sexy ass
We already
placement.
know.
And we have a Capricorn Mars. Boss
She's a
bitch.
business bitch. Yes. Boss bitch. That says a lot about her fame and where she's made it to
Mm-hmm.
and that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, interesting. Okay, we've got Jupiter in Pisces, Saturn in Sag,
Mhm.
Uranus and Sag, Neptune and yes, Neptune. I was like, am I saying that? Neptune and
Yeah.
Capricorn and Pluto and Scorpio.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's our mid and
Same
outers.
generation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, good a mixture of energy.
Very much
Not seeing a
so.
ton of red lines happening in her charts,
Mhm.
just generally. So it's
Yeah.
not too many squares and oppositions. There's some, but it's normal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, just a lot of passion. Like she's got a lot of fire
Mhm.
and then some more fire.
And
you know,
some fire and some more fire.
some water to just some fiery water,
So, yeah, some hot she's in hot water all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Only a little earth. Only a little earth. So
Look, she's not very grounded,
she's out there. And so I
but we
can see
love
it.
that.
Yeah, I can see this combination of energy giving
Mhm.
us a Lady Gaga. So very cool. Okay. All right. Go ahead, girl.
Uh, do we wanna give some other honorable mentions to some other famous Aries in
So
their
some
season?
other yes, so some other folks I saw out there. I just, was not surprised when I saw that Sexy Red was an Aries. I'm like,
Sexy Red.
come on, Sexy Red,
It's
with the red hair and
sexy.
everything. Just very Aries. I'm
Yep.
like, Aries, even if you don't have naturally red hair, you are attracted to red
Mhm.
hair and you're gonna
Look,
get it.
one of our very first guests, Taylor, she's an Aries.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be her season as well. And that I still in my mind like she is not a natural redhead, but she had red hair when I met her, and in my head, she's just
It's
forever.
hard for me to forget that she is not naturally red. It
Yes,
just
yes,
makes
it
sense. It's
fits.
like,
It
oh,
fits
yes,
so well.
it
You know who
does. It
else?
really
You know
does.
who else has red hair? Well, I don't know if she still does, but also famous. I don't know if famous is the right word, but like consistent red hair is Bahad Bahabi, Bad Baby,
Mm-hmm.
also
Mm-hmm.
an Aries.
Also an Aries. I'm like, that girl is definitely an Aries. Like,
Mhm.
you
She's
a
ready to
girl that want
fight.
to fight. Just, I mean,
Mhm.
there you go.
Catch me
Like,
outside.
catch me
An
outside,
Aries
famous.
catchphrase. An Aries catchphrase.
Catch me outside.
Have you been following her little battle between her and Alabama Barker on the internet?
I
Bad
have
baby, do you
not.
Okay.
I just saw something about an Alabama Barker that was it yesterday or something. I was like, who is that?
Mhm.
And I'm trying to put together. I think I was on the shade room and I was like, who was that?
Mhm.
You know,
It's a mess. I'm happy to explain it, but it's also like it's not really even worth knowing because Alabama Barker is Travis Barker's daughter, Travis Barker of Blink 182 fame,
yes,
who is now married to Kourtney Kardashian, so she's tied
right,
up in the Kardashians. But
right.
Alabama is so white, very white girl, clearly like loves to not act that way. Like she's
She likes to
very
cosplay as a colored person. No, as a person of color.
yeah, I'm not going to
These are the
say that,
things
but
I say. These are the things I say when I'm not on.
She's
But anyway,
she's yeah, she's over here. She's installing her wigs on TikTok. I think she's maybe perhaps had some work done. She has the accent, the black scent. She's and then, of course, Bad Baby also
right there
her
together.
own brand of
Uh huh.
I don't know what even you want to call that. I wanted to say appropriation, but like also it's like maybe deeper than that even.
Right.
Like
It's
it's
like,
like
yeah, I think this
this isn't just your
something more
standard
going on.
appropriation.
Yeah,
There's some
something
real
else.
stuff going on here. Anyway, they're in a rap battle. Beef.
Oh,
It's not good. It's not good. Check it out if you
hmm.
want to, but also if you don't want to, I would understand. Everything I've learned about both of them has been against my will.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I was like, well, let's just throw a bad baby because here she is. And
Look,
she's very much an Aries.
she
She
embodies
embodies
Aries
Aries. Absolutely. And so
very
I
much
can't
so.
take that from her.
Who else we got on this list?
So, in male form, we have Big Sean.
Yeah.
We love to see Big
You
Sean on
know,
the Aries list.
I first of all, I don't fuck with you. Also, an Aries anthem.
Anthem, honey. And I love it.
It's great, but I've very recently I listened to the Big Sean's most recent album. Janae Aiko is having just such an effect on him. He's got a lot of inner peace right now. He
Hmm.
seems like a healed Aries, and I don't have
If he
we
would
done his chart
just
before?
I couldn't remember. I was like, every time I look, I'm like, did we do? Because I know we've talked about her, and I
Mhm.
don't know if we ended up pulling his chart in connection with hers
Mhm.
or not.
That's
And
I
so
couldn't
that's why I
remember.
didn't choose him. But yeah, like
But
let's look into it. And yeah,
he's got to have some other placements that make him a little more sensitive than not Aries is also very sensitive, but like he seems to not be so quick to like fight or, he
mm-hmm,
seems to have some inner peace about him these
yeah,
days,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I
We
love.
just need him to just commit to that lady,
Mhm.
like in whatever
They
way she
already
would
have
like
kids
you.
together. They already
Hello,
have kids together. They have a
you
cute little
know,
baby.
just Give that woman what she wants,
Yes.
if that's what she wants.
If that's
I'm
what
like,
she
"Are we
wants.
assuming?" I think no, I don't think we're assuming. I think she's been out. I think she's been public. I think that she would like, you know,
Some
to
more
be married.
commitment. Yes.
Yes, and so give that lady what she wants or get out of her space.
Please. Okay, also, I did just look it up just for posterity. I wanted to know. He has a Cancer moon, Mercury in Pisces, and a Taurus Venus. I feel like all of those things really ground him down a little
Yeah.
bit. A Mars in Capricorn as well. Yeah.
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 Okay. I
And
see
he's got
it.
that water energy, so that's gonna make it susceptible to her Pisces energy.
Mhm.
So, okay.
Yeah.
That that explains some things. Okay. He's got something to cool him down. All right. Okay,
Yes.
Big
Yeah.
Sean. So last on the list that I saw this, I was like, yes, Jonathan Van Ness from
We
Queer
love.
Eye. I was like,
Yes.
yes, Aries. Like, I
Fabulous
just
Aries King.
always see him, his hair is blowy, and I'm just like,
Oh my God,
yeah,
yes.
okay, sir.
In the wind, like he
Just
feels like someone who just has a permanent wind machine.
yes. His hair is
Just
always just flowing. I'm like, okay. Yes. It's just
Yeah.
is there always a wind machine? And just like someone walks in front of you with one of those. Have you seen those
Mhm.
portable fans like all over TikTok?
Yes. Yeah, he just has one of those going 20.
Hair is just amazing. Yes.
It's amazing. Amazing indeed.
So I had to include him because it's like, yes, Aries, yes. Now I could also put him for a Leo, but
Yeah, I could see that
there
too.
might be a
That would have been
rising
my
in
next
there.
guess. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that would
Uh-huh.
have been my guess. Love to see it. Love to
Love
see it.
it. So, that's the end of our relatable content. That is all we
Okay.
have.
All right. An hour later, that's all we have.
Look, that's all. We love a long relatable content, don't we?
We do. We had a lot of good stuff for you this week. So
Yes.
let's say we take a quick break and then we will come back with our fun little activity for the meets.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Be right back. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. All right, we are here for our meets, and I don't know
Yes.
if y'all probably can't see this because this is an audio podcast, but Christine and I have our little coin flip simulator ready to go
Yes.
because we have a fun game for y'all. Christine, do you want to tell them what it is?
Yes. So we had this idea to like make this, super group, right? And then, the super group of like, our zodiac friends. Let me, explain fully. And then, I was like, hey, let's do a draft style.
Yes,
So
it's
we
March.
have
March, we got Zodiac March Madness.
March Madness, the Zodiac Draft,
Mm-hmm.
all of it. So we are going to flip a coin virtually to see who is going to have the first draft pick. And we are going to each select 5 members to be on our team
Mm-hmm.
and hope, that we come out with a good team at the end. And then we're going to let you all vote. So our poll on the show, so our Spotify poll, I guess I might make this a social media poll as well. But the poll will be whose team you get. So we have to see what we end up with on this draft.
Mm-hmm.
So each of us will go through and do our picks, and will give us a little justification for why we picked that
Mm-hmm.
team. You cannot pick the same team, so this will make it fun for us because
A
I have
little
a
competitive
feeling that
energy.
we have similar similar
Similar
like
tastes. Yeah.
yes,
We've got the same like dream blunt rotation here. Like
yes, right.
now I should say like this isn't we're not it's not the team to compete. Like the team is like your friend group, right? So I
Or whatever you want it to be
well, I guess it could be whatever. I thought about it as like I'm
as
building a friend
your
group.
friend group.
People
Yes.
these are people I want to spend time with and I want to hang out with.
Yes.
I think if I was thinking about it in terms of like a competitive team, it might have been a little bit different because, competitive energy is not always who I want to hang out with. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
Yes.
so
This is
that
just
was
your dream team. Like,
yes,
now team can mean, whatever you need it to mean, right? But this
any
is your,
number of things.
yes. Yes. And so this is your dream team, or we'll see, as much as it can be.
Mhm.
'Cause,
Okay.
it's gonna get kind of gritty there at the
It
end, I
might.
think.
It
This
might.
is
We'll
gonna leave
see.
two signs without a home.
Ooh.
And so
Yeah.
we'll see who just does not make the cut. We're
Who
just gonna
doesn't
have to try again next year, okay?
I have some predictions. I'm not going to say because I don't want to give my picks away, but
Yes.
when at the end we'll have to share like are the two that are left who you thought would be left.
Don't nobody get any feelings now, okay? All
It's
right.
nothing personal. This is just the
We're
name
just
of the
having a good time.
game.
We're just having a good time.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to flip this coin to see who goes first. I will go ahead and go. And as soon as I click this, then I want you to just give me heads or tails. Ready?
Heads.
Christine gets to go first. First round
All
draft pick,
right.
baby.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So listen,
Let's get into it.
I thought about this. I'm like, okay, if I get the first pick, who we going with? Who we going? So I think I'm going to go with Scorpio.
Okay. Solid
It's an
choice. Give
interesting
me.
pick, right? Yes.
Yep.
Like I feel like, sometimes you might need some of that dark energy.
Mm-hmm.
But they're very, interested, they're not interested, but like kind of investigators.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna get all the tea, they're gonna get all the information we need to know about whatever the thing we need to know. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, I'm gonna take a Scorpio on this team.
Okay.
So that's my
Okay.
first pick.
You know what? They were not my first pick, but they were on my list for very similar reasons. They are a ride or die. Like sometimes you need a ride or die on your team.
Yes. Now I think I was like, we can make this real competitive. And I know who I think Shelby's first pick would be.
I
And I was
bet
like,
you
I could get dirty and
you
try to
could.
take her
Look,
first.
I bet you already know what I'm about to say.
I absolutely do.
You know who my first round draft pick is every time. Here it is, Taurus.
Taurus.
Always a Taurus. Look, I've got way too much air energy and way too much Pisces step. I need somebody to ground me, and that
I
Taurus
need the
always does it.
grounding.
Taurus always
Yes.
does it. So here's what I said about Taurus in terms of like them being a person I want to hang out with, them being a friend. Like the vibes at their house are always good. Their grounding
Mm,
nature feels like home to me. They
yeah.
can go out and have fun, but when you need a place to crash, they got a comfy ass couch for you.
Hmm.
Okay. They're always there. They're very steady. They're, lifelong. And they're the kind of person that you could go a very long time without talking to. And then when you pick back up, it's right where you left off. Like,
I love that. I
that's
love it.
had to do it. I had to do it. You already knew.
Yes. Yes, we love Taurus. I knew that one was, I didn't even put it in my top because I knew that was going to be your first pick. And I was like, if I don't take Taurus, then I'm just not going to even consider Taurus to be my
Yeah.
top five because
Yeah.
it's going to be gone.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Feels good to be
Yes.
seen. Like it feels good to be
Yes.
known. Who we got for your second round?
So for the second round, I am going to take Gemini. Yeah.
Hey. Why?
So, Geminis are just always a good time. Like all of my Gemini friends just always have the best time with them.
Mhm.
Again, like I always have something to talk about. We never run out of things to talk about.
Mhm. That's true. Man.
Always got some just different kind of knowledge. Like I never even thought about that. They're thinking about it. If
Mhm.
you've never thought about it, they're thinking about it.
They're thinking
You
about
know.
it.
And so Gemini is, just good vibes. Good vibes.
Look, you already know Gemini was on my list too. Gemini was on my list. And for the same reasons I said, the convo is always sure to be interesting. They know how to turn up, they will match my air energy.
Yep.
And the other thing I said about a Gemini is that they will let you be on your bad girl shit when you need to be.
Yes.
There is no
There's
judgment,
no
okay?
judgment. They're just
You don't
like,
have to hide because you can guarantee that a Gemini has something like has that duality. They've seen it.
mm-hmm.
That,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now they might surprise you every now and then with some shit that you're like, what? But they
Uh-huh.
will not. They
Uh-huh.
will not judge.
No judgment. And we love it. We love a judgment-free zone, like
Hmm.
energy, okay? Like that's
Yes.
our energy. So we want other people around us that got the similar
Hmm.
vibes.
Exactly.
So yes,
Okay. Damn.
Gemini. All
Picking
right.
off my draft picks right and left.
Like, I told you this is gonna get a little interesting. It's gonna get a little competitive.
That's okay. I came prepared. I'm gonna crack the
Okay.
knuckles and get back into it. I got more up my sleeve, and
Okay.
here we go.
Come on, yes.
Okay, second round draft pick. I'm taking all the earth signs, baby. Give me a Capricorn.
You
Give
gonna
me
take my cap?
Give me a Capricorn because you know what? Sometimes you need somebody that you can get down to business with.
Yes.
You need to get down to business with them. Do you want them to plan the group trip and then put it all on their credit cards so you can make payments in installments? Yes.
Hello.
They
They're
got
good
it.
for it.
Do you
They got it.
do you need somebody to teach you some motherfucking boundaries? Get a Capricorn. Get a
Get a
Capricorn friend,
Capricorn.
okay?
Yes.
That's my second round pick.
You gonna stick me, with the
You got to do it.
I gotta have my earth energy too. And I'm like, you gonna stick me with the Virgo or
Oops.
tell you the truth. I was like, I'll take her Gemini and she gonna take my Capricorn.
Hey,
Okay, okay.
it is
All
what it
right.
is. All's fair in love and draft picks.
Okay, all right. It's getting wild up here. Okay, so just as a quick recap, we have Scorpio, Taurus, Gemini, and Capricorn who are have been picked.
Those
So
are first and second round picks, baby.
they calling their mamas or their mamas, maybe their mamas there.
Right there, getting the
The
hugs. Yeah.
girlfriends,
The girlfriend's getting
the
pushed
day
to the
ones.
side. Yeah.
Okay.
Giving the hug to my mom, depending on how it goes.
Shout out to my city. Okay,
Hey.
like. So, okay. So, third rounds. Okay. Let me I have my little list here. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just in natural Pisces nature, I did not order them at all. I just put them in here as the top 5 and then I
That's so
have my
fun.
subs and I'm
Yes.
like, okay,
Who we
we
subbing
just
in?
going to flow with it. So, I think I'm going to go. Okay, what do I got? I got Scorpio and Gemini. Okay, I'm gonna go Aries here.
Okay.
I
Okay.
gotta have my Aries energy, like that's similar vibes,
Mm-hmm.
a good time, always full of life,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
very bold, very bright,
Mm-hmm.
I love it, confident. So
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna take Aries for the third round.
So I
Still
will
working on my elements here. I'm like, okay.
I get it. I'll tell you, Aries was on my list, but they were lower on the list.
Uh-huh.
But I think most of our reasonings are very similar, but I said specifically a Pisces needs an Aries because sometimes
Mm,
we need a little push to start something. Just start. Just do
yes.
it. Just
Just do it.
start it
Just
off.
go for it. Yes.
And Aries is always going to hype you up. And it's
Mm.
also, they're a nice reminder to say, hey, it's okay to start a project and then never finish it.
And never, and no shame. No
Then that's
shame about
okay.
that.
That's
We love
okay.
starting things. It's nice to start. So
I love it. Okay,
we
so
got
you got
Aries.
Aries.
All right.
I'm gonna match that energy. I'm gonna take a
Oh.
little fire sign myself. Give
Oh.
me a Sag.
I knew you were gonna take Sag.
I need a
Knew it.
Sag. Because, okay, and here's why.
Huh?
Sometimes a little chaos is a good reminder
Mm.
that nothing really matters.
You know,
They
it's
let
not
you
important.
be the most authentic version of yourself because that's what they are. Most
Mm-hmm.
Sages I know, it doesn't matter. You are getting exactly what you think you're getting. That is, they're being authentic to themselves, even though
Uh-huh.
sometimes they're little weirdos. I love that. I love that energy. I love to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I can be more like myself. It's good. They're fun.
Yes, you
Yeah.
just feel so accepted in a Sag. I love that. Yes. Now, Sag, I will say again, Sag was on my subs list.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it was either, you can't, for me, I'm like, I can't have too much fire going on. So I'm like, it
Right.
was going to be Aries or Sag.
Right.
But
We
it's
gotta
like,
pick
let
one.
me
We can't have both.
take, one or the other. You cannot have both. It's just too much going on. So I love that. I love that. We love our Sages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're halfway through.
Right.
6 signs have been selected. off the table. We'll note that, you have a lot of water signs left.
A lot of water signs
A
left.
lot of water signs.
And that's nothing against our own
Our own
selves,
people.
but we already bring the water energy. We need the balance.
So there can only be one of us. So, fourth round, I am going to go with Aquarius.
Damn, all my picks. You got all my picks. Okay.
You gotta have some of that just kind of out of the box, just like being a little weird.
Look, sometimes you need to just have an existential ass conversation.
Absolutely. And someone just can go there with you. Now, I will say Gemini can sometimes do it. Just if the right Gemini. But
Yes.
like Aquarius, definitely. They're like, you want to go all the way to the left. They're gonna go there with you, and they're just like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Now they're very accepting.
Get a little
not
weird
real
with it.
judgmental. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love you better when you're weird.
Exactly.
We love that. So
All right.
Aquarius, my fourth round pick.
Okay, you've run through a lot of my top picks, I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? That's okay, because I'm gonna go next round. I'm taking a Pisces. I'm taking another Pisces.
You taking Pisces?
I'm taking another Pisces. I'm taking another Pisces because I know that we're gonna align on a lot of things.
Yes.
And you know what? This is a very earthy little. Got a lot of earth and a lot of fire. Like maybe we do need one other water energy to balance us out.
Yes. And good for Pisces, because if Pisces didn't get picked, they're going to be very sad, and it's going to take years of therapy.
They're already emo. Okay, we don't need to add to it. Come on in. We love you over here.
You just have to remind them. Okay.
Right.
All right. So, this is our last round.
So I'm
just going to give us, again, a brief recap. Scorpio, Taurus, Gemini, Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Pisces have been picked. That leaves us with Leo, Libra, Virgo, and Cancer. All right. So,
Leo, Libra, Virgo, Cancer. So we've got at least one in every element. Okay.
So let me look at my team right now.
I got you. Look at your lineup. Look at my lineup. You got a lot of air energy in there.
I got a lot of air and a lot of fire with Aries and Scorpio. So, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to, okay. So for me right now, this is between a water and an earth sign. It's like, do I go Cancer? Do I go Virgo?
Classic Christine.
Ooh.
We got that earth, that Virgo, but do you also know, do you want to deal with it? I don't know.
Love. This is tough, because you go between, you want this nurturing energy, so it's going to take care of the groups, be caring. Someone's going to feed us. Okay.
Right. Who's going to feed us?
Somebody going to feed us.
Who's going to take care of us?
Or you have the Virgos going to take care of the group in a different way.
A very different way, yes.
A very different way.
We got a lot of caretaking energy left over here, I see.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking about our cast of characters here. I got a Scorpio, Gemini, Aries, and Aquarius. This is strange, but I feel like maybe that group will need some reining in.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go with Virgo.
Should have known. Yeah.
Not my first pick, but definitely my last pick.
Definitely my last pick. Yeah. Okay, so we have Leo, Libra, Cancer left over. Okay, and who do I have? I have Taurus, I have Capricorn, I have Sag, I have Pisces. Man, I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know. This is tough. This is a tough pick. Man, I'm really struggling with this. I think.
Talk it through.
Okay. So we've got, again, the Cancer is who's going to bring the snacks, right? You bring up a great point. We need,
Yeah.
We gotta have craft services at the game, okay? Like, there's that.
Concessions, hello.
But on the other hand, I've got no air energy in here. I've got no air signs.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I bring plenty of that.
True.
I bring a lot of air energy. So there's that because we also have somebody else covering the Pisces,
Mhm.
emotional depths. But then you know what? A Leo is a good fucking time sometimes. A Leo
Leo's a great
is
time.
they're gonna do the PR, they're gonna hype us up, they're gonna get us out and have us see and
Yes.
be seen. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
There's pros and cons all around because I'm not really seeing a whole lot of other energy here that is giving what Leo can bring, like the look at
Mm.
me. Like sometimes I
Mhm.
don't want those energies to clash with one another.
Yes.
Maybe a Sag could, kind of clash there just a little bit.
Mhm. Mhm.
The thing about Libra and Cancer, to me, both of those signs can give you big passive aggressive energy. You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I get that vibe from both of them. And again, I'm a Cancer rising. Like I know what it is.
Look,
It's
we
like
we understand our own energy. Yes.
yeah, it's that mom, especially with Cancer, it's that mom energy. Like I will take care of you, but like if you don't appreciate it when I take care of you, I'm gonna be so
Yeah.
upset.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Libra does that sometimes too, in a different way. But Libra does that as well.
It's nothing like a Cancer mom guilt trip.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Exactly. Okay, all that being said, I think I'm gonna throw a curveball here. I think I'm gonna go with Libra.
Wow. Okay. Look at you getting selected.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Libra because we don't have the air energy and they are very romantic. I think
Yes.
we've got enough earthiness. We need somebody that's gonna talk to Pisces about the feelings and to have those deep
Somebody's got to
feelings.
relate with
Okay.
Pisces.
Yeah, because I think that's what I'm gonna go with. We got
And
Libra
then,
here.
just to like add to your, you've got Libra and you've got Taurus on your team, to make things very
A
beautiful.
beautiful
It's
Venusian
going to be very
combo.
beautiful.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
amen to that. And the Pisces too. I'm like, it's going to be very beautiful. It's going to be
Yes.
very nice.
Yes. This is going to be an aesthetically pleasing group for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that leaves Leo and Cancer.
Sorry, Leo and Cancer, you're going to have to call home. Like it didn't
Sorry.
happen. Hopefully your hopes weren't up. Now, Leo's hopes were up. And
They
Leo is
were.
devastated,
Leo is upset right now.
You know?
Yes,
Check
absolutely.
on Leo, y'all. Somebody check on you, Leo friends, because they're upset. They did not make the draft. They knew they were the best, and now they might be finding out something different.
Yeah.
Again, come back next year. We'll try again. The draft. You got until you're 20. No, I'm
Look,
just making shit up now.
I've got now I do want to know because your first pick, if you've had to pick a six-man draft pick here, who are you pulling off the bench? Cancer or Leo?
Okay. So, I'm gonna take Leo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take
Mm-hmm.
Leo off the bench. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I've
You
been
know
working
what?
hard.
No offense to you, Cancer.
No offense to you at all, Cancer.
None at all, but I would have taken the Leo too. They're fun. They're very
They're a
fun.
great time. They're a
Yeah.
great time.
And sometimes we all need to be reminded that it's okay to be a little vain. You gotta love you.
Yes.
You
You
gotta
gotta
love
love
yourself.
yourself.
Come
Hello?
on.
Love yourself.
Love
So,
yourself.
yes, come on, draft. Like, all right. So now I'm going to give myself this task. I'm gonna line these up and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you all vote. Like which
Ooh.
team, which
Who
group,
who do
who
you
you
got?
got.
Who you
Okay.
got?
See who
Hmm.
you're vibing with. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's been the draft, y'all. Like
Man, that's a
it's
lot
a
of
good
fun.
time. It was. It was.
All right. Thank you for playing. And do you want to take a quick break and then we'll come back with our Venus retrograde horoscopes?
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. Be right back, y'all.
All right, y'all. We are back with the wrap up of the show, which means you're gonna get a horoscope
Yeah.
this week. Yes, we love a horoscope. So this week we are getting into the Venus retrograde horoscope. And I think are we talking about Venus retrograde next week?
I think we might be
I
because
think we might be.
we'll be closer to the end of it, obviously, by then. But let's
Yes.
see. The Venus retrograde is actually over on April 12th. So we've got some time left
Yeah,
in
we've got a
this.
little more time.
Got a couple weeks
Um,
left.
yeah, we are. Well, okay. I was like, I just want to confirm that. Like, we are talking about Venus retrograde in next week's episode. So, we'll be getting into things a little more in depth. But this is our horoscope. This week it is provided by Yoga Journal.
Hey.
And so now this horoscope is a rising sign horoscope. So you will need to access your rising sign, your ascendant.
Interesting.
So consider these. Now, you can listen to the as relates to your sun, but this is an aspect to your rising. So I'm gonna get started with Aries rising.
Okay.
Right. So as Venus begins her retrograde in your sign, it is a space to review and reconnect with your sense of self, identity, and life force. Consider the beliefs you hold about who you are and the confidence you allow to exist within you. The final weeks of Venus retrograde in Pisces will invite deep surrender, reconnection with the sacred aspects of life, and closure for old patterns that keep you from the truth of your unquestionable worth.
Unquestionable worth. Yes.
Right?
Love to see. All right. Well, let's get in here with the Taurus rising.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, it's for you. It's a retrograde of surrender, of silence, retreat, rest, and review. It's a space to reflect on the contents of your heart, the fears and hurts, inspirations and dreams, and to lovingly bring forgiveness and closure to all that keeps you from living in truth, happiness, creativity, love, and beauty. It's a retrograde that also invites healing to your sense of worthiness when it comes to your visions for life, or comes to
Oh,
visions for your life.
yes. Okay. Forgiveness.
Are you
Closure.
feeling it right now?
In some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 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 definitely some things there. Definitely a lot of silence, retreat, rest,
Mm-hmm.
review, like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just, turning 40 and just like a lot of that
Yeah.
is just there. I'm like, wow, lots of things. So, yeah, very relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's move to Gemini rising.
Mm-hmm.
There is a space for you in this world, who you are and as you are. There are others who share your perspectives, your interests, and your visions. This retrograde is a space to remember that deep belonging brings healing to any spaces within your heart that have been told otherwise. As Venus shifts into Pisces, this belonging shifts focus to your long term visions, goals, and career and asks you to clarify your values and desires in this space.
Seeing a lot about values here in a
Yeah.
lot of the horoscopes, it seems. That's a
Yeah, because now Venus, remember Venus governs our values as well. And
Mhm.
so yeah, like that's gonna be
Hmm.
something that we need to, yeah, reflect a lot on, right? Like those things that are close to our hearts.
Mhm. So, okay, we got Cancer rising. So we're talking about me here.
Yeah.
What values guide your movements, your long term plans, your desired impact? Venus is inviting you to review these values, to clarify what matters to you, and consider what you would like to add to the world. Is it a space to heal any part of you? Oh, rather, it is a space to heal any part of you that may not feel deserving or capable of your own vision for your life. And it's a space to review and rewrite to your foundational beliefs and perspectives of the world and your place in it. I think
Oh,
this is very much speaking to the off mic dilemma that I talked to you about with my job situation
yeah.
and my values and my worth.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things are very much coming into play for me right now.
Yes. Yeah. That I mean, it's right on. It's that
It's that
retrograde
time.
energy. I'm telling you. Okay, Leo rising. Create space within yourself, within your mind, body, intuition, heart, and existing perspectives and beliefs.
Mm.
Meaning is something we create as we live. We build and refine as we go. Venus retrograde is a chance to consider the meaning you ascribe to life. Release the narratives that were never yours and rewrite new ones into being. Reconnect with your own cycles of death and rebirth and experience inner intimacy and self reclamation.
Okay.
Reclaim yourself, okay?
Reclaim. I love it. All right. That brings us up to Virgo rising. This
Our favorite.
retrograde, this retrograde invites a reconnection with your innermost self. It asks for intimacy, vulnerability, and presence with all your layers, emotions, fears, and truths. Virgo's going to hate this. Relating to both your relationship with yourself and your closest people, Venus retrograde is a space to surrender and release. When you do, you bring presence, awareness, and healing to both conscious and unconscious dynamics, desires, and needs within yourself and your relationships. Let yourself feel with honesty and safety.
Yeah, Virgo's gonna hate that. Let yourself feel with honesty and safety. But we want that for you, Virgo. We really
We
do.
do.
We want that Virgo risings, Virgos, Virgo, any Virgo placements. We
Love it for
want
you.
that for you. So, Libra rising, what do you value in relationships? How do you desire to be seen and allow yourself to receive love? Do you feel safe asserting your needs and desires? Venus retrograde invites you into your heart by bringing healing through presence and inner listening. While partnerships remain a central focus, the way you show yourself love through taking care of your body, engaging in loving habits, and finding the sacred in your daily movement also ask for your presence. Okay, Libra. So, it's not just about the other person and having somebody else. It's, how are you loving yourself?
Tell them. Okay, that brings us to the Scorpio rising. How do you show up? How do you show your self love, rather? Your body, your mind, your desires, and your needs. Venus retrograde invites you to retrace and reflect on the way you show up for yourself in your day to day life. Consider your routines, rituals, and self talk. You're invited to find yourself through losing yourself, whether in art, meditation, dance, music, or yoga. Find yourself through losing yourself.
Give in to the chaos. Give in to the dark,
I like it.
the unknowing.
The darkness,
Yes.
let it consume you.
Let it take you. All right. So, Sagittarius rising. You are art. Can you feel the beauty within you? The life force moving through your body and the singular frequency that you are. This retrograde invites you to reconnect with the beauty, uniqueness, and specialness of you. To reconnect with what brings you happiness and the kind of self expression that sets you free. And it asks you to befriend your emotions, bringing healing through presence to your inner child.
A little bit of playfulness in your, yeah,
Playfulness, yeah.
love it. Okay, Aquarius rising. Journey in, oh my bad. You're right. I skipped one. Sorry, Capricorn. So sorry,
She just
Cap.
really wanted to read Aquarius.
I know. I wanted to read Aquarius.
She
I just,
did. Sorry.
I love that weirdo energy. All right, Capricorn rising. Excuse me. It's a retrograde to tend to the foundation that was built in your formative years. The narratives and perspectives, emotions and values that drive you in ways that are nurturing as well as unsupportive. You are your own authority. You have permission to build yourself and your life in a way that is based entirely on your truths, desires, needs, and values. Welcome to a retrograde of emotional clearing, inner child healing, self talk questioning, and narrative rewriting. Oof. Some
Rewrite
deep
the
work going on
narrative,
there.
okay?
Yes.
Like,
I
all
love.
right. Question your own self talk. Like, what are the messages you're saying to yourself?
It's a good thing to do.
All right. Okay. Okay. That's why Earth signs, you have to consult other people. Now, see, y'all are the ones be trying to do the inner work on your own always. It's always just inner
Always.
work.
Yep.
We don't know
Call
what you're
somebody
working.
else.
Yeah. Get a second opinion.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Or a
Call
therapist.
somebody. Or, yes, better yet, a therapist. Because we don't know who your friends are. Okay. Yes. So, Aquarius rising. All right. Journey into the world that exists within your mind. What exists there?
Good
It's
question.
getting deep already, existential. What patterns and narratives have been leading you? What perspectives are shaping the way you perceive life?
That's deep, some deep shit going on here.
This retrograde is an opportunity to reflect on the contents of your mind so you can release and rewrite. Bring compassionate presence and healing to your self worth through reconnecting with both yourself and whatever in life feels sacred to you. I mean, that was all right.
Well, I didn't get to read Aquarius, but I do get to read Pisces. I will take that.
I'll take Pisces.
Pisces rising, you are worthy of your dreams. You're worthy of moving at your own pace, and you are worthy of honoring your needs as well as feeling secure and safe as you take up space. Venus retrograde asks you to own your worthiness at an entirely different depth. In so doing, it brings a more expansive understanding of your sense of self and all that makes up your identity. Allow yourself to release any self narratives that are no longer true.
That sounds nice, Pisces.
It's nice.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it's
Love it.
nice.
Very healing.
Well, that's our Venus retrograde horoscope. Just
Yeah.
hang on to that for the next couple of weeks. And we've got, I
Keep it
think
in
the Mercury
mind.
retrograde goes until the
Mhm.
7th of April. So
Yes. I was also
hopefully
gonna,
it goes well.
do this other video. It's also Juno just went into retrograde on the 19th.
Okay,
And
tell
so
me tell me more about what Juno what does Juno
so
rule?
Juno is one of our asteroids, right? And so
Mhm.
Juno rules commitments and marriages and those kind of
Mm.
like more specific than like, not well, yeah, a lot more specific than like Venus, right?
Mhm.
Like it's more love generally,
Mhm.
whereas Juno is very much focused on like marriage, that kind of.
Mm.
And so I was paying attention to this because Juno was crossing my descendant, which is, kind of a like, I don't know, keeping my eyes open, or, just like
Mhm.
what's going on over there.
Yeah.
But now it has crossed. I think it might still be in conjunction range, but I don't know. But it has just now gone retrograde, so maybe coming
Mhm.
back to that descendant. I'm like, and
Interesting.
Venus is like over here conjuncting my sun. So I'm like, what's going on?
What's
So
happening?
yeah, so Juno is retrograde currently. So yeah, so that energy that governs our, partnering up, or those relationships that are, marriage, or
Mhm.
that same kind of energy.
Interesting.
Things to kind of just slow down, like again, just slow it all down.
Okay.
Just take everything easy, take it a day at a time, just review things,
Mhm.
think about it, think about it again. Don't make any
Reflect,
big decisions.
review,
Yep. don't
recharge.
don't
All
get in
those
your Aries energy. Yeah, it's
are
interesting for us to have this retrograde in Aries season, because Aries is very
Mhm.
much, again, that more
It doesn't
impulsive
want you
energy.
yeah, it
Does
doesn't want
not
you to
want to
slow down.
wait, doesn't want to slow down.
No brakes, all gas, no brakes.
What? No, we don't do it again.
No, I don't
Like,
think so. Yeah, I
we didn't
already did
finish it the
that.
first time. And so, like, just we're not
Exactly.
gonna do it
I did
again.
not finish it the first time.
So yeah, but if you can, just remember, it is literally retrograde season, flip season.
Mhm.
It's a lot of seasoning happening right now in the universe. Very
Some
seasons,
some
very well seasoned.
astrological seasoning.
Yes,
Yes. Things are
yes.
getting a little spicy.
Okay, okay. So just take
Maybe
it
a little
easy.
salty too. I don't know.
Get you some milk or something, like, you got to, yeah,
Bounce it
get it
out.
together. Yes, yes. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. That is the
Mhm.
end of the show.
Mhm.
If you remember us talking about those charts, now send
Yes,
us your charts, send us,
please.
your question, your comments, your commentary. Don't forget to engage with those polls. We're gonna drop
Mhm.
a couple polls this week, right? Or
Mhm.
what is it? What is the pettiest reason that you blocked
That you've
someone?
blocked someone or been blocked
Yes.
if you'd rather.
Yeah, yes. Tell us all the tea, right? and vote on your team.
Oh, yes. Tell
Shelby
us
or
whose team you're
Christine's
on.
team on your team of choice. So we're going to have two this week. So make sure you vote on those. But back to the email. If you want to
Mhm.
email us, our email address is suchapiscespod@gmail.com. And that is spelled SUCHAPISCESPOD at
As always, we are also at Such a Pisces Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Please follow us there. We'll be getting some content posted. That's where a lot of our polls are. If you're not already following us on Spotify or Apple Podcast or whatever your streaming platform is, go ahead and follow us. Consider giving us a nice little review. We'd love to hear from you on all the way around. And of course, share this episode with a friend. If you're doing your own little draft picks, share it with a friend. And, if you
Yes.
know somebody who's really going through it this retrograde season, just maybe they need to hear their little horoscope for the retrograde as well. Share it with somebody. That's the best way to get people to know about the show. Hopefully we'll get more of y'all here soon with more charts and get on the show. We're small enough now that we will have you on the show if you really want to be on the show.
You're really dedicated.
It doesn't take much,
I said, we'll talk to you.
always. All right, y'all. I guess it's time.
Is that time? Okay. So, till next time, y'all, stay safe in these streets and protect your energy.
As always, continue to seduce and scheme safely. See y'all next time.
Bye.